Welcome back, guys. So, we're back with the map. Now we're going to work on trying to add our land details, meaning our trees, our rivers, and hopefully our mountains. So, last time we were here, we were doing only the free stamps. I know, it's unfortunate. But we have to make do with what we got. So, let's start with mountains. Mountains are part of your land, so I always try to start with them. You can make them as large as you want to match the scale of your land, or you can make them as small as you want. I'm just going to start, and the easiest way to do it is just go. And I'm going to drag. And there's my first mountain range. And I can add a little bit more here or here. And that gives me a good, huge bit of mountains. I could do the same in the north here. I'm going to do that. I could do this down here, where I have a mountain range that takes over that entire land space. Right here, maybe one or two right here. Yeah, I like it. We'll leave this area a little flat, a little barren. We don't need mountains everywhere. So, I'm going to stick with this for what we have, and I like it. And now we're going to go onto our trees. And you can use a combination of both trees and pine trees, and I do recommend doing so. Depending on how big your map is, you can keep your trees big or small. I'm going to keep them relatively big, in my opinion, because I'm just using it as a filler. So we're just going to start dragging your trees. Add it in. Show me that forest. Remember how we were designing the dirt to be ready for forest area and biome? Add it in. Add little patches of trees. And then we can go back and add the other China trees. And boom. You have a forest and forested land. You can add even more through the trees you made already, through your mountains, and you fill it in. You can make it a deep forest, a dark forest with only pine trees. You can make it a very lively forest with only big, beautiful trees. Or you can make it a dead forest as well with dead trees. It's all up to you, really. So I'm just going to take my trees, I'm just going to layer them throughout the map, switch between them, on and off, same size, don't matter. I'm just going to make my forest the way I see fit. I might add a couple of like small little forest areas. Here. Here. I'll fill it in. And this is the fastest way really to fill in your map, to give it some life, is with trees and forests. It's one of the biggest things you can do in Inkarnate. One of the bigger tools that you can use to separate your land, to give it, you know, that feeling of separation, which is difficult, especially when you have wide open land and nothing to fill it in with. So like over here, I might add in this path, right where I have these, like that dirt, I might just add in more trees, make an entirely giant forest. Don't be afraid about it looking pretty or wrong or right. Look alright. Doesn't really matter how you do it. And I'm going to go down here. Maybe I want to add in tree cover down here. Not on all the mountains, maybe just the pine trees in the northern side. And pine trees die out the more you get to the shore. Boom. We'll add another forest down here, a small one. You can leave them a little barren. You don't have to make it so that every little corner and piece is filled in. Just add little pieces here and there. Boom. That's the first step to adding for your forested area. Now I'm going to go back into here. I'm going to start playing around with some of the textures that we can use. So I'm going to lower the opacities, making sure that we're not going to bleed through too much, make sure your shape is a little smaller. And you're just going to start making that dirt under that tree as it would be, dark. Maybe a little bit more opacity, do 60%. It's kind of like adding a shadow. It's really going to bring out that forested feel. That feeling that you're escaping your field. And you're going to run into the area where the trees meet. The leaves fall and start to grade. It feels right. You can zoom in pretty far and do this. And again, you don't have to do this. This isn't a necessary requirement. It's just something to add in. And you can do this with really any color. So if you were planning on doing something magical, you might maybe you use blue. Or if you're using mountains, try to piece in some white. If I piece in some white throughout these mountains here, you might see a little bit of snow. Or what feels like snow. At the base of the mountain, you get a feeling of that snowy biome. Oop, I don't like that, so we can get rid of that. You're not going to be able to see it all, and it's not going to be the most obvious thing. Over here, I might do the most obvious thing and make all this white because of the way the land is. I might even add into the forest that there's snow. Or I might come in here and I might take a mountain and delete it. And that gives me more area to add in that color. And you'll start to see, as you zoom out, your map is starting to look a little different. Just a little bit. Alright. I'll get this area over here too. Don't forget about your islands. You don't want one thing to be filled with detail and the rest to be kind of bland and tasteless. I'm just gonna fill in the bottom. And that makes it look like there's a little bit of snow, a little bit of dirt. Boom. Now you might be wondering, yeah, now there's not a lot of space for anything else. I know. And the goal is really, you don't want to clutter your map. The larger your map is, it's going to be harder to read. So, making sure you keep your map clean, precise, and giving those detailed ground points that show where paths lead, show what your obstacles are, and show where your towns can be. Now, we're not going to be worrying about towns really just yet. In fact, I'm going to go back and we're actually going to go into subtract mode for our land. We're going to take our brush and we're going to make it real small. Real small. And I'm actually going to take my style and lower the featured size of this style. And what that does, if I made a little ground here, just a little bit of ground, and you just watch what this does. If I bring up the size of the texture to 18, it's crazy. If I bring it down a little bit, it does less. It makes it so there's less noise in your map. And that looks more like a river to me if you look at the Amazon. So I think I'm going to use that. Let's get rid of this because I didn't want it here in the first place. Boom. So, subtract. Let's go to 8. Now, how I like to do rivers is I usually like to do them running from wherever lakes sit. So if I might add a lake right here. At the base of that mountain. I might add one up here as well. I'm going to add a city down here. So we'll add another lake up here. Big lake. Now, let's get our rivers going. So it's really easy. We're just going to slowly draw your river out. Separate your land. Make it an island. Don't be afraid to show where the rivers go or lead or run through a forest. So if I take a river here, I'm going to run it through the forest and out here. Or I could take the river and run it through here. How about right here? Remember, you don't need to do a billion different forests. You don't need to do a billion different rivers either. One or two will be good. So down here, might have this coming from that little shawl, through the forest, out the other side of the island. And from the mountains, I'm just going to separate it with a couple of rivers that come from the mountains. And boom. That's the easiest way to make your land. Now, I do want to go back into the rivers, because the same thing we did with the outside in the first video, we can do here, inside. So I'm going to take my brush, and I'm going to go in, I'm going to find my sand color. I'm going to lower my capacity to 06, and I'm going to make that size a little smaller. Now, let's start doing this. Remember, it doesn't have to be perfect, it doesn't have to be incredible. You just kind of add those to those river paths. Just to the river, just to the rivers, and maybe to your lake. So I'm just going to zoom out, lightly drag over it. Don't matter. Excuse me. And remember, we're not trying to draw every stream and river in your map. If you do so, your map's going to get cluttered. It's not going to be easy to look at, and it's going to be very hard to tell what's going on. If you leave a little bit of definition and only include the bigger parts of your rivers and your maps, then you're going to include the more important pieces of the map. Because it will show. It'll resemble something that's important and not less important. So we'll trace all the way down. And just make that river have a shoreline, just as your shoreline does. We don't have to worry about the forest too much. So now that we've done that, we'll go back in. And we'll take a grass brush. And we're just going to turn that opacity back up. And slowly just give it that life. Give it the life. Oop, don't like that. We'll go over here to this side as well. You don't have to fill in every piece. I just want to get the pieces that I can really tell I missed. That just look a little off. Right here, here, definitely right there. Even right here in this dark path where the forest is, I can get rid of that. How about here? See there, there's a little yellow piece. Look off. There you go. Down here as well. And voila. You've gone from a map with nothing on it to a map with a good amount of detail. Now, if there was any more natural detail to add, I would want to do it. Fortunately, there's not too much I want to add. I think I could add in maybe a couple hills, but they're going to be pretty small. Might add them into the south here. At the end of the mountains. Maybe a couple here, maybe a couple there. Add in where you think it works. And then, of course, design the ground around it. Make sure it looks good. Make sure it fits the world. Make sure it doesn't pop and stand out and look disastrous. And that is how you layer. That is how you layer your world. I hope it helped, guys. Enjoy.